Well, hello, this is John Munter, Northern Minnesota. Welcome to the farm. I am talking about the Gospel of Thomas with the Nag Hammadi Library by James Robinson and recapping what we talked about previously. The first 14 sayings talk about going within to experience the divine love of the mother. And this becomes a sense of ecstasy and freedom of the higher self. The next 7 sayings talk about how to deal with the world, how to go about your life, but there's no person, place, or thing or practice to focus on especially, but the movement of the Spirit. Next 7 sayings talk about the light and expressing the light into your brother, into your sister, in an expansion of the higher self. The next 7 sayings talk about the mission and don't get too absorbed in having your hands tied or being led around blind by someone else, but preach what you hear from your inner ear. Preach outwardly that, and let your light shine again. The next sayings begin a series on established religion and how they don't often really have much to offer, and become passers-by in their conflict. Because the higher self really is a whole dimensionality higher than this. And so we begin a new theme in number 48. If two make peace with each other in one house, they will say to the mountain, move away, and it will move away. We talked about last time how it's really being outside of time and space is what it's referring to, and seeing mountains rise and fall. Number 49 affirms that it's really a solitary and elect thing. It's a thing one does oneself, and not as part of walking with glory into the kingdom of heaven arm in arm with your brothers and sisters necessarily, but it's a spiritual trip. And how does one do this? How does one begin even? And we come to number 50 here. Jesus said, if they say to you, where did you come from? Say to them, we came from the light, the place where the light came into being on its own accord and established itself and became manifest through their image. If they say to you, is it you? Say, we are its children, we are the elect of the living Father. If they ask you, what is the sign of your Father in you? Say to them, it is movement and it is repose. So this opens up a lot of questions. And we know from number 30 that this was conjoined in the first apocalypse of James. The first question really is, who is they? If they say to you. And this is a traditional ascent saying, common in Egypt and the East, where you ascend through concentric spheres and you're challenged at each gate, each sphere. There's a gatehouse, and you're challenged to see if you spiritually attain to the next realm that you can ascend to. And oftentimes there's a magic saying you need, or the name of a spiritual teacher, or some magic secret thing that will get you through the gate. But here Jesus is really talking about we came from the light. So what you need is what you have within you already. And the light came into being on its own accord and established itself and became manifest through their image. Well, what is their image? Well, it's the archons, right? The gatekeepers, the image of the archons and gatekeepers. And this refers to humans being bioengineered by these gatekeepers and archons and aliens. We're actually using their form to a certain extent. And they've made us in their image, their physical image, but not the soul image. So they're challenging us here. If they say to you, is it you? Say, we are its children. We are the elect of the living Father. So this is from where we came. This is to where we are going. If they ask you, what is the sign of your Father in you? Here's the magic word you're supposed to say. Say to them, it is movement and it's repose. Well, a lot of commentators don't really get this, don't understand it, but it seems to me it's fairly simple. It's the movement of the Spirit on the one hand, or it's peace and it's repose on the other. And then the normal question would be, well, what about this repose? Where do we find it? And number 51 takes off after that. His disciples said to him, when will the repose of the dead come about, and when will the new world come? He said to them, what you look forward to has already come, but you do not recognize it. Aha, so it's not in the future, it's currently what we have within us here. And disciples could look around at their spiritual traditions and go, well, where actually is it around us? And his disciples said, to number 52, his disciples said, 24 prophets spoke in Israel, and all of them spoke in you. He said to them, you have omitted the living one in your presence, and have spoken only of the dead. So it's not in the past. It's in the present. The one living in the presence. What is the living one in the presence here that we're missing? And so this is addressed number 53. His disciples said to him, is it circumcision beneficial or not? He said to them, if it were beneficial, their father would beget them already circumcised from their mother. Rather, the true circumcision in spirit has become completely profitable. So this is another image, like the baby having its mouth around the breast of the mother's breast, for example. Circumcising around the spirit and cutting off the dross. So this responds to number 52 by saying, well, just cut off the dross, the materiality, and then you'll have the spirit. And then what do you mean by circumcision of the spirit? It has become completely profitable. So that's explained in number 54, which we'll come to next time. So thanks for being here with us. This is John Munter. My website is www.themirroredbridalchamber.com. And my book is The Integral Gospel of Thomas, Made Easy on Amazon. Thanks.